Hello and welcome to Rebel Base Radio. I'm Jim, Fulcrum the Force, and I'm with my bestie, as always, Nat.
What's up, y'all?
Nat, you are not in your usual place.
I am not in my usual place. My usual place is obviously more colorful than this. It's more Star Wars than this. This is not my humble abode.
I like it though. I like that painting. It's nice. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. It's not mine.
I love it.
I didn't choose it.
Hey, Sheena's here, and Matt is here. Hello, people. How are we all? But yeah, no, I appreciate the fact that you're joining us live from New York. It's oh my God, it's Natalie live. That was good. So we are here to talk about Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 4. I don't know what it was called.
Oh, fuck. It was like...
You told me that you were like, I'm good, I'm prepared, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, on the episodes that I host, when you're hosting on your channel, I'm like,
Listen, right? It's been a stressful weekend. It's called something like...
It started with an R. That's all I knew.
Okay, great. It started with an R.
Let me look it up.
Like... No, I'm gonna look at it. Was called Faster. You weren't even close. Started with an R. Rasta.
I swore it started with it.
You're terrible.
Oh my God.
Hey Andrew. Matt has made his very first purchase from Padawan.
Did you really? Oh, amazing.
He did, and the thing is, I know exactly what he bought because I was the one who boxed it up for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. So, what was it called? Faster. This is already a shit show.
Oh, it was not a shit show. It was just shit. It was a dumpster fire. It was a horrible episode. I mean, I knew we discussed this last week. You knew it was gonna be one of those like things with Sid, but it really wasn't a usual Sid expedition. It was literally all about fucking Sid. And I was like, we got this amazing episode.
I can't tell you how much my heart sank when they were with Sid and she's got, I've got a mission for you. I'm like, oh, this is everything I hate. So you're right. So if everybody joined us last week over on Nat's channel, she was very, very good at breaking down the episode, like beat by beat, had it all there. Like you can tell she's a professional in all of this. I'm at best a moron. So that's not happening on when I host in, all right? It's going to be fly by the seat of our pants, figure it out as we go along, right? Because that's the Jim way, okay?
That is the Jim way. That's the Fulcrum way. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
So we've got some, there you go, see, look, Andrew was let down. I think we were all let down, but...
Bro, it was such a shit episode. And I understand that we're going to be getting shit episodes because of, like... That's just how animated series are. That's always how animated series are going to be. We're going to have shit episodes because they have to fill 16 episodes worth of shit. And like, we're still at the beginning. This is still episode, what is this, episode 4?
It's super confusing because we're on episode 3 and they're on episode 4.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just so bad. I mean, we open up and like they say, like they're playing. It's not Sabak. They're playing a different game. And then Sid has the audacity to be like, you guys are running up the power bill. Like, while they're playing. Right. And I'm just like, sis, you pay for this shit. Like, calm the fuck down. But, and then he goes, yeah, like, she said, like, let's go on a mission. Like, I have a mission for you two. And I also really felt it was very weird not to see Hunter and Echo this episode.
And there was no reason for them not to be there.
No reason. They said
they were like, oh, they just happened to be over on doing something else, which I can guarantee was a far more interesting mission than this.
I know. I wish I could have seen what they were doing. Dead ass. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Because this is like at least cut to them once, you know. Yeah. So okay, I'm going to do something that's a little bit out of character for me. I'm going to defend it.
No, you're not.
I am, but only very vaguely. I'm going to defend it only in as much as this week's episode was in a hard position to start with, because last week's episode was so strong that this week's episode had a hard place to get to. Right. The problem is, it didn't even fucking try. Right.
No.
It's just like, oh, what's the worst thing we could do? Oh, we just shit the bed, right? And so that's what they did. They shit the bed, and I hated it. Okay? Sorry, I started with a defense and ended up just shitting all over it, right? I saw so many people going, I gave me Phantom Menace vibes. That's not a good thing if you're me. It is if you're
It's a great thing if you're me. But I will say this, like, yes, the comparison between the two racings was actually pretty cool. And obviously, I'm just gonna jump right to the end. Tech is a genius. I was I was not worried about him losing this race at all because of who he was and who he is. But I think what I've always liked about pod racing, and what was this called? Riot racing?
Sure.
I think it's called Riot Racing or something like that.
I think it was
Rage Racing
or pod racing.
There's no rules. I've always loved that. There's no rules to this shit. Like you shoot, you want to fuck someone up, you can. That's what I like about it. I'm just like,
if wish. He's right. He's absolutely right.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie. When the guy was coming up to Sid and was like, "You owe us a debt," I'm just like, they're finally gonna take Sid, and we're gonna never see this bitch again. And then Omega had to open up her fucking mouth.
Something I don't understand. Yeah. So, I'm gonna briefly gloss over this entire episode. They went to watch some races. Sid had a racer. He was a robot. He got blowed up. Tech took over. Tech won the race. Obvious, right? That's the entire episode. Why did Omega not be like, oh yeah, well, it's double or nothing? And she's just like, and if we win, we get Sid. It's like, you've already got Sid. She only owes money. She doesn't owe a life debt. Why have you not
going to say
Sid X amount of credits so they can get out from under Sid's shadow? Ugh. That kid, I swear to Christ.
I was just like, Omega, you could have just said that we would either get double as well, and then you never have to work with Sid again. And I'm just like, the bitch was like, no, all we want is Sid. I'm like, Omega, girl, Omega. I will say though, I forgot Tano or Teo, that was the droid's name.
Yes.
Yo, that guy got wrecked. What?
Right? I will say this, though,
he got wrecked.
Twice as well. There was one bit where I was just actually made me laugh out loud. When he's laying there and he's being repaired and he's like, no, I'm absolutely fine. And he looks down and he's like, where are my arms and legs? I was like, that's funny. That is funny, man.
Oh, it was such comedic relief.
Yeah, and it needed it. This episode needed it because it was a struggle.
It was really a struggle.
I regret nothing. He's right. Yeah, that droid was the only thing that was good about
salvageable about the episode, and we lost him twice.
Yeah. I'm not sure this is going to be the world's longest live stream because there's not a lot to unpack in this episode.
No, there's not. They don't talk about what their next steps are. We have no idea what the hell is going on with Crosshair. We don't know where the Empire is at. We don't know what's next. We don't know anything. We didn't even see a snippet of where Cody could have gone to.
Yep.
It's kind of like they dropped the bomb that
this
Cody,
was that episode of Clone Wars with the droids, you know, when they just go off on a jolly for the day.
Dude, no, it wasn't even an episode. It was an arc. They did an arc of the droids, and that little shrinky tiny man.
Oh yeah.
That's like I am a general. I'm like, no, dude, you're the general of sanitation, or like you like led. Oh, I don't know what the hell you did, but you definitely were not a general. And all these droids. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did like that episode, that arc, because it featured the pink. The droid, the one that Dave Filoni created specifically for that girl who had passed away because of cancer.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was cute. But that it reminds me of that. I'm like, don't tell me we're about to see an arc of just utter shit. Like utter shit. Like we're in 2023. This is not season 1 of Clone Wars. I don't need shit arcs, bro. Lucasfilms has given me Andor, Kenobi, Mando seasons 1 and 2, and about to be season 3. I'm going to mention the Book of Boba just because it had some good parts. We have had Book of Boba. We've had Tales of the Jedi. And you're telling me we're now back to the shitty episodes of The Bad Batch. Are you kidding me?
Apparently we are. Hey, Mark. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Because there was no character development.
No.
Like, even like, why do we need to see that Tech was like, oh, I know how to figure this out? We know, dude. We know. You're smart. We get it. We knew this. There was no character development for Tech. Nothing for Omega except for the fact that she just messed it up for everybody, as per fucking usual. Wrecker,
nothing for Wrecker. Wrecker was.
He should have been off with Hunter and Echo doing whatever it was they were doing. And Sid, they're like, oh, she's got a dark past. I'm like, well, obviously she has. I mean, that's a given. And also, I don't fucking care.
I could care less about Sid. Like at this point, I don't care about Sid.
Bin her off. Send her the way of Cody. She's dead. Done.
Like I really could care less. I will say, I've been noticing this, and I don't know if this is supposed to be intentional, but I did notice this, that Tech has had more of a presence out of the group this season. Remember that episode when he was literally like, they were in the forest on Dooku's planet, and he was being attacked by the stormtroopers, and he literally like we thought he was a goner.
Yep.
But he was the one that turned that bitch around and like saved himself and like was able to fight his way off. And then obviously, like, I'm not saying he was going to be a goner. I knew he was going to win the race, but I was like, wow, you really are really talented. Like this is
tech heavy.
It's very tech heavy, and I like that. I'm trying to like shed some positive light on the Bad Batch. Wrecker is just kind of keeping to himself this season. Hunter, I don't see this man ain't talking for shit. He's on the back burner most of the time.
Yeah.
Echo's pretty much like there.
Yeah. Echo just also turned up.
Yeah.
But not this week.
No, at last, no. Hey, did not turn up
so,
this week.
Do we think that they're building up Tech or something?
I hope so. I hope so. I also am.
When you give a character this much arc, there's only one thing you're building them up to.
His death.
Yes. You know me. I love to suggest death.
Bro.
Everybody's gonna die.
Like, you see that trailer for Rogue One for the first time. You're just like, oh, these are great characters. Why haven't I heard of their names? Oh, that's why. Because they're all gonna be fucking dead. I love that film because of it. Bad Batch needs to get dark and fast. It's not going to. It's not going to go Clone Wars dark. It's not. No, they're not. They're not gonna make the show dark.
I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, last week really gave me hope, and this week really took it away. And I feel like the fall was harder.
Like, the problem is that we're at this time in the galaxy where the Empire is on the rise. We are no longer dealing with the Republic. We are dealing with the new order of the Empire, the Galactic Empire. The Galactic Senate is now in place. Which is really funny, and this is a total side jump, but I started playing Star Wars Squadrons.
Okay.
And the first arc of the game that I played, it was before the blow up of the Death Star. This time, it's after the part that I'm at in the game now is after the Empire has fallen, and the New Republic has jumped in, and literally the last of remnants of the Empire is what's going to form into the First Order. So it's really weird to see these changes, but it's like we're at this time that there's not much going on.
Yeah.
And like the Death Star is not even. They're not even setting engineers up yet. It's still probably on that hollow drive. They're like, okay, guys, how are we going to be building this? Where are we going to be building this? And how can we keep this a secret from everybody? Like Galen Erso is probably in his early engineer days.
Yep. Sure.
This is such a weird time in Star Wars. And in my head, I'm just like, what else is going to be able to happen with these guys? I don't
Nothing's gonna happen. So
they're not gonna see Ahsoka. They're not gonna be seeing any of these people.
Sam brings up a good point. Sam from Padawan Outpost brings up a good point about this show being dark, and he said you must be forgetting about the civilians Crosshair ordered and watched as his squadron killed last season. He's got a point, but also the only good episodes of this show are the ones with Crosshair in.
No, dead ass. It really is true.
I'm officially a Crosshair fan. I really like him. The rest of them,
even though he's a dick and he's an asshole, but his presence in these episodes are unlike any other character. I'm sorry, but when you decided to actually shoot into a blaster, shoot his blaster into the tank's cannon, I'm like, we could have wiped out so many freaking tanks
easy
in the Clone Wars by doing this. And did we? No.
Yeah, but it's good. That is what will make his redemption ultimately sweeter, because he's such a dick when he kills Cody. Squadrons is a great game. Unfortunately, I have to disagree. The story mode is very good. The multiplayer
that's what I'm playing right now.
Multiplayer mode is trash, because no matter how well you do, if your team loses because everybody else sucks, you still get downgraded and you get minus.
Oh, I suck ass at this game. I suck ass. Right now I'm back to playing on the Empire, and me flying a TIE fighter.
Yeah, that part is pretty dope, to be fair.
I mean, and it's because I'm at the part where they're trying to get us to learn how to drift using a TIE fighter. Oh, I hate it. I'm like, I have to punch what? My anxiety gets really bad during this game. Oh, and on top of that, the reason why I started playing Star Wars Squadrons is because I got stuck on a level in Lego Star Wars, and it's frustrating me so much. I want to punch my computer. And every single time I start playing Lego Star Wars, it is 12:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I can't message Jim because this guy is sleeping. I'm not going to interrupt his slumber for me to rant how I'm at this level in Phantom Menace. I haven't even left the Trade Federation battle station. I can't get the lightsaber to make a circle or a rectangle to then break in. I can't. It's not working.
Oh my goodness, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. We're gonna have to sort out a time where you're on Twitch and I'll come and join you, right? Yes. And I'll help.
I'm literally playing as Qui-Gon, and the thing is, it says you have to press E, attach, and go ton. I do that, but for some reason it's not letting me make a circle. It's only make an L. And I'm just like, this is so frustrating. I cannot move forward in this game without doing that.
What did I tell you the other day, Nat?
What did you tell me the other day?
Buy a controller.
Oh, fuck, I know.
Then it would be so much easier. Matt doesn't do multiplayer. Fair. I think that's fair. And apparently it's gorgeous in VR. Interesting point, Nat. I've got a VR and I played. They made a level on Jakku in the first Battlefront game, where you would fly the X-wing in space and stuff. It made me so motion sick. I had to lay down for 4 hours because there's no fixed point. There's no fixed. So you're like spinning, and I'm like, bleh. I'm trying. Bleh.
I'm not gonna. I will say this. Like playing Star Wars Squadrons, like whenever I'm trying to like turn and then realize that I've gone upside down and I have to rectify myself to come right back upside, and I'm just like, I would be dead if I was in this vehicle. I would be. I would have thrown up. I would have died. I would have ejected the seat just for the pain to stop. I would have literally dove my fucking X-wing into a Star Destroyer just to be like, you know what? It is what it is.
It's done. So what you're saying is you're not a shoo-in for the Imperial Academy?
Oh, I am not a shoo-in for the Imperial Academy. I will make the rebellion lose if they put me on their team. Granted, I try my best. I make it through the level. I never get any medals. If anything, I get bronze. I get the participation medal. They're like, thank you for participating.
Have you played the story mode of Battlefront 2 yet?
No, I haven't. So the only games I've been playing right now, I've been playing Squadrons. I've been playing. Oh, you're gonna hate me, but you'll appreciate me for this. I've been playing the 1999 version of the pod racing game that came out.
Star Wars Racer?
Yes.
That game is legit. Like, that was the best part of the Phantom Menace. Like, not the scene, the pod racing scene that can get in a bin, but the game that they released.
Oh, that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been playing too.
That obviously Jedi Starfighter, I think they brought out as well.
Yes, I haven't played that one yet, but that's like next on the list.
So
just good. Because like it gives me that nostalgia feeling, and of course I'm always playing as Anakin Skywalker. I'm not playing as any other fucking person. And I'm on Mustafar. I'm like on the Mustafar version of the game, and it's even though the graphics are shit.
Oh, they're awful. That game needs an upgrade, but it's a dope.
Never gonna get it, but.
It's a dope game, like for sure. I own that game on my PlayStation.
Yeah, so that's why I played that
on a 65-inch TV. Don't do that. It looks awful, awful. You can't see what's going on. Apparently, we're supposed to be talking about Bad Batch. There's so much hate for the Bad Batch. So good old Dave must have an end game for this spin-off. Otherwise, it's totally tarnished his reputation. I don't think it would tarnish his reputation.
I don't. The problem with Bad Batch is, in this, I'm gonna be very frank with Dave in this whole moment. Bad Batch is not the first thing on his mind.
No.
Bad Batch, like for example, when Clone Wars was coming out, that was his baby, that was his child, that's everything. Right now, his main focus is Ahsoka. His main focus was the Kenobi, like the stuff he did on Kenobi, the stuff he did on any Star Wars show actually within the last 2 years. Like Bad Batch is kind of like that, your side piece or your side chick. You're like, oh yeah, I should probably attend to her maybe once in a while. That's what Dave is doing, in my opinion.
Probably
no offense to Dave. Like Bad Batch is the mistress of Star Wars. Like she's there to entertain. Is she pleasurable all the time? No. Does she have some good moments? Yeah. Can she get you to finish sometimes? Yeah. Sure.
But most of she's just shrill and annoying.
She's just shit. Yeah. Like you go to her when it's convenient. And that's kind of what I'm feeling right now again. And this is season 2, man. But Dave, what I will say though is the animation quality is still good.
Yes.
The voice actors like D. Bradley Baker, I can never shit on him because he's such an amazing voice actor. Like, I will always love him. for eternity and love him voicing all Bad Batch characters and the clones. But yeah, it's just we're back at square one with Bad Batch of like, where is the show gonna go? Because season 1, like, yes, was an introduction to the Bad Batch. Season 2, what are we doing here, guys?
So Sam at Padawan Outpost at my work, he lives to wind me up, and he's doing it now in the comments.
What is he doing? Wait.
I'm gonna beat you straight
Sam,
up.
wait, Sam, number one, Sam. Will I get to meet Sam when I'm in London?
Yes.
Okay, so I will be meeting you soon. Why, dude? Why? Like, if you're anything, it should have been Clone Wars.
Yeah, right. Like Rebel. Come on, Rebel season. Don't touch Rebels. Like, don't. It's a bad call.
It's like we do this every single time. We know how you feel about Rebels, and we know how I feel about Clone Wars. Like,
yeah, just don't touch them. They're untouchable for us. He's only doing it to wind me up, and I'm sure I will hear about it on Tuesday when I'm at work.
What do you think is
a Bad Batch? He really and that's fair enough. Like, if you're getting
good
something
for you,
amazing. Like, I totally appreciate that. I'm not. I did.
I'm not just connecting to I'm not connecting to any of the characters. That's my problem. Like, I have no connection to any of them. With every Star Wars show that's been out there, I've been able to find a connection that makes me happy and keeps me reeled in. Clone Wars, it was Ahsoka. Rebels, it was Ahsoka, and actually, surprisingly enough, Sabine. Okay. Sabine, I don't know why Sabine was like one of my favorite characters from Rebels, but she was. I thought she was a badass, and I love that she was a Mandalorian too. Also, completely divert to Star Wars Squadrons. Seeing Hera Syndulla talking to me, I got so excited.
So excited. So good.
Because I was flying the X-wing, and all of a sudden I hear General Syndulla is coming on the comm. I'm like, what?
Right.
That was awesome.
That was really cool. I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Not only do I wear everything Star Wars, I do wear everything Attack on Titan. I'm actually wearing Attack on Titan socks.
Nice.
Thank God, actually, I did not meet Sam in this like sweater, because like, oh, and then what was the most embarrassing too? Because I thought like, oh, I'll probably just be home all day, and tomorrow, so like, I'll just bring casual sweaters, the ones that I wear at home. So I brought this sweater, and then I brought my Adam Driver sweater, thinking that no one was going to see me. And then Danielle's like, oh, you're coming to work with me both days. So the only sweaters I have to wear today and tomorrow.
For those of you that don't know, Nat's probably going to be meeting Samuel L. Jackson in that jumper later today.
No, not in this jumper. Tomorrow. I won't be in this sweater. I will be in
your Adam Driver sweater.
I will be in my Adam Driver sweater.
That's even better. That's even better. No, it's better for me, because that's hilarious.
No, but it's not the whole thing with Samuel L. Jackson. Do you know who also stars in this show?
No.
John David Washington.
Okay.
Denzel Washington's son.
Yep.
Who happens to be really good friends with Adam Driver. I'm just going to toss myself into the trash, into the New York trash on the street.
Yep, I think you probably should. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just doing something embarrassing.
Sam is asking, do you not have a connection with Echo?
So out of the clones from Clone Wars, my go-tos and my faves were always number 5s was my fave. Rex and 99. And exactly.
Yeah.
Echo, I never really connected to in the Clone Wars. I couldn't really connect to Echo in Bad Batch, especially because don't forget, like, he was rescued at the end of Clone Wars season 7 and was basically just placed with the Bad Batch at that point, because he felt like that's where he belonged. And he didn't, like I said, he didn't really have a lot of character presence in season 1 because he was relearning how to be with the crew again. Yeah. And then on top of that, they're now learning how to be with at this point, I don't know how old she was, but with a child.
Yeah.
Like and they're all trying to evade the Empire. They're all trying to now evade this. It's like, it's very weird to connect with these characters.
There's a lot of different disconnected strings.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the Empire, you've got the fact that they're clones, you've got the fact that they're with Echo, then you've got Sid's bullshit. And it's just like, right, so are you going to tie up any of these loose ends? Or is this going to be it the whole
way?
And
it continued to be a complete disconnect, because even when we got to the end of season 1 and we were with the Kaminoans, and they made it such a big fucking deal about needing to bring back Omega because she was this big fucking piece to the puzzle, and never explained it. We still have no idea why Omega is the way she is. We still have no idea who Omega is to the Empire. All we know is that she's a female version of a clone. That's it.
Which is not genetically possible, but
it's not genetically possible at all. But it's like, we don't know much about her. I remember
I want to try and say it might link potentially to something in the future, but we're getting no payoff of anything. And I know, like, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it takes a few seasons to get the payoff of a particular story arcs.
I mean, we definitely got that with Clone Wars. Clone Wars took a while.
Yeah. Like, and that's totally fair enough. But we're not getting payoffs of anything.
No, we're not.
Nothing paid off at the end of season 1 at all. And
low-key, I'd be okay with Boba coming back at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I would like to see. I know everyone's like, we don't want to see cameos. Omega turns out to be.
Well, she can't. No, that's funny. Like, I appreciate the fact that was a joke, but my Star Wars adult brain goes, that's not technically correct, because in the book Shadow of the Sith. No, shut up, Jim. That's very funny.
Well, it's also like physically impossible, because isn't like Kylo technically like 10 years older than her, or like, and he's not even conceived yet. They haven't even met.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how Sen would probably be like, bro, I don't know why you wasted my time. He probably his recap video of the Bad Batch episode 4 was probably like, I don't know why you guys showed up to watch this shit. It was shit. That's it. Ending video.
Here's the thing. It's just like, I like to watch I don't watch all of Sam's videos. He knows this, because some of them aren't for me. But I haven't watched his reaction video, because I try not to watch anyone's reaction before we do this, because I don't get influenced by like anything. But I do
if you're gonna be influenced by somebody, I think Simon's a good
one to be influenced me and him are always on the level when it comes to Bad Batch anyway. So I'm looking forward to what he says. 3 seasons to see what was in the goddamn basement.
That's an Attack on Titan reference, actually.
Okay.
Because I got mad into Attack on Titan, and I'm telling you guys, it's a great show for a great reason. So.
Okay. I don't know anime. I know old school anime. I know manga anime. I know Akira. I know Ghost in the Shell. I know Guyver. I know those ones.
And to be fair, like Attack on Titan, even though it's still current and it's still present, like that bitch came out in 2013. Like it came out.
Most of the stuff I'm talking about came out in the 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah, before you were born. So, I'm OG.
Before I was born. I was born in the 90s.
Yeah, but when in the 90s? Late 90s.
Oh, I was born in 94.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Some still came out before you were born.
I know Sailor Moon like that. Well, it came out in like late 80s. Like Omega is fed to the Sarlacc. I'm okay with Omega staying alive. I just need Sid to go. Like, move on. Like,
I need them to pay her off, and then to do the next part of.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was gonna get shot though at the end of this episode when like they're trying to walk away and the guy like eyes for the gun, and I was just like,
are they gonna do it?
Gonna happen? Are they gonna have like a shootout? And it's Echo. That's why at this point I was just like, oh, Tech's gonna be the one to like,
yeah,
do like who shot first, like, and it's gonna be Tech. No. And then the guy was literally like, no, and then he goes
to do anything interesting.
I will say the most interesting line out of this entire, like, I mean, Teo's ending line, like, was great. But the guy, I forgot his name, but the big boss man goes to the Bad Batch and is like, you guys need to know who you're really working with. Just because you have her back does not mean she's going to have your back. And I'm fully agreeing to that.
Oh, yeah.
Sid could care less about these fuckers. She will sell them out. She does not care. Like, they need to, like, leave her and, like, realize that, number one, there's so many other places you could get money to make money. I'm sorry, but, like, there's bounty hunters. There's, like, there's so many other places you go to.
Yeah, but they owe her, don't they? And that's the problem.
For what? A ship?
It's a nice ship. That was Ernie Hudson. The big geezer was Ernie Hudson. I love Ernie Hudson. I've met him 5 times.
You know what? I thought I'd recognize his voice. Cause you know what he kind of gave me though. If you feel this way, good. If you don't, it's okay. The guy was giving me Thanos vibes. Like he walks in, I was like, oh, this feels like Thanos.
I don't understand the whole hands being way bigger than your own head, but fine.
And then his like, it was supposed to be a beard, but I think they were like actually like horns that's from his chin.
Yeah, it's the same type of species that was in Force Awakens. Just sat at the back. The girl that's in the leather reports to the New Order.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's true.
Sid is like the angry, unwashed dinner lady who sells cigarettes to the cool kids.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
Okay, let's look forward. That episode's done. It was trash, right? Fine.
Yeah.
What's next? More trash or a little bit of treasure?
I am hoping it's going to be a little bit more treasure. Okay. I'm hoping that we kind of now do a 180, and I would like to see the Bad Batch still included in this. I still like to see the gang like included in the episode, but this time having some sort of connection as to, if anything, are they meeting up with Cody? Are we going to be seeing Rex? Are they going to be helping out another civilization that, you know, actually has nothing to do with Sid, but more in the sense of like they get information or intel that their clone brothers are in need of help and they need to go rescue them, or they need to go figure out something. I don't mind stuff like that. It'd be great. Also, we can see their connection, like their crossover with Crosshair and the gang. Like, is it going to be like where Crosshair is on another mission where he realizes that the Empire's really fucked up, and he's like, maybe I should reach out to the brothers, or maybe I end up on the same mission, or I end up on the same planet where Clone Force 99 is, and see how that goes down again. Like, I know it's probably too soon since he basically was left behind by them on Kamino for 34 or 32 rotations. But I am praying that I don't see this bitch Sid next episode.
Okay, right. I'm calling it now. We're getting another Sid episode next week.
Oh my god.
I guarantee it. Like, because I mean, they're not doing arcs in this show. They seem to be doing one-off episodes. But I don't think hello, Jamie. I don't think that next episode will be the start of any kind of arc or anything. I think it's going to be bring back the team together, get them to go and do a mission for Sid again. And potentially at the end of that episode, we might get like a hint of something more for the following episode. they haven't put anything in place that would mean that next week's episode's a banger.
Right. No.
And it's not going to happen because I'm like, what? I mean, in my head, I'm like, the only thing they could potentially do is have Hunter and Echo be like, we've found out this, we need to go and help these people here. That I could see, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Another 16 episodes of meh. Surely not. Haven't started Bad Batch season 2 yet. Episode 3 was incredible.
Yeah, episode 3 was great.
Episode 1 and 2 weren't bad. They were pretty decent.
No, they were pretty decent. Like even Simon ranked them at like a level 6 on his thing.
Yeah. Episode 4 was dog shit.
Dog shit. You know, it was actually better than that episode. And I'm gonna be very, very controversial when I say this. The Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
Because at least, like,
I'll take an hour of Stinky over that shit.
I'll say seeing Stinky get kidnapped and then get rescued, and then Jabba about to go all like mob boss and killing everybody until his son comes back. No, that's great. But like this.
So Andrew said, if it turns out to be a musical episode, I'm going to punch my TV. Now, I have to be honest. I love a good musical episode. Musical episode of Buffy, best episode of Buffy ever. Huge fan of Glee. Anytime there's a musical episode of anything, I'm sold. So if they did a musical, I'm in. Sign me up.
Star Wars, The Bad Batch, the musical. It sounds like
all of a sudden I'm interested again. Get them to do a cappella versions of current songs. I'm in. Bad Batch does Pitch Perfect. Love it.
Oh God. Still in two minds as to whether. Okay, if you're a Star Wars fan, here's what you have to realize: you're gonna have to watch every single thing that comes out of that Star Wars, because at the end of the day, it's still Star Wars. We could be like Star Trek fans and not having anything. We could have a revival of a franchise fail and then not get anything. And they have now a TV series that it's still on the air, I think, but not really doing so well.
Hey, I will not have you say any bad words about Star Trek Discovery, because I'm a massive fan. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, right? People don't know this about me. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, right? Watched all the seasons of all of the shows multiple times, right? My go-to is Voyager. I love Voyager. I've seen all 7 seasons. 7 seasons of that.
How did you? So how did you feel about Next Generation?
I love Next Gen. Next Gen is my Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Because it came out when I was 12, I think. So it hit me right in the sweet spot. Loved it. The new show, Discovery, I really, really enjoy it. But you're right. We could not have anything. So you are going to have.
There are franchises out there that have started stuff, and it's just not gone the way they wanted to. Whereas Star Wars, it's still continuing. Marvel, I'm not even putting on the same level as Star Wars, because Marvel has been continuous since they started. But Star Wars ended in 2005, started again in 2006 with the Clone Wars series. That was under the rug for so many years until finally, like, I think Netflix picked it up, put it on their platform. Everyone started rewatching Clone Wars and was just like, oh wow, this is actually a really good show. We need this bitch to come back. And then Disney Plus started, and Dave Filoni got interested in picking up everything again, and here we are many, many years later.
I think look, we got plenty of Star Trek fans,
which is so funny because I grew up with them. Like, I obviously, because you and I are actually not in the we're in different generations.
For sure.
I grew up with the notion that you were either a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek fan.
They occupy different spaces in my mind. Star Wars is very tactile, whereas Star Trek is very mental. Yeah. So if I want to question things about race and equality, I go to Star Trek for it. If I want lightsabers, I go to Star Wars. You know. Also, if you like Star Trek, you should be watching the cartoon Lower Decks because it's funny as hell and it's great. I have the electronic Enterprise D from the 90s in my car. It still works nice. Also, the other problem with Bad Batch is you know that at some point it's going to connect to something. So you're going to be like, if you haven't watched it, you'll get to a point and they'll be like, and then there's this, and you'll be like, what? And it will have happened in the Bad Batch. Because Omega's not going to just disappear. It's not just going to be a case of, there was this girl clone once. It's never spoken about again. It will come back.
Yeah.
It'll probably feed into the whole clone, Grogu, everything else storyline, because that's all about clones.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
The entire Star Wars saga, right? Even if you go Legends book-wise, it's all based around clones. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the books, the immediate trilogy after Return of the Jedi, books-wise, was the Heir to the Empire series, and that was all about how Palpatine had cloned Luke from his severed hand.
Gross, but cool.
And he was, and that clone Luke, fought with Anakin's saber, obviously, because it was still in his hand.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can fall down the trenches of the Death Star, wherever the hell you're on, and Palpatine will somehow find
he'll find you. He'll find you. I mean, if the dude can somehow return, he can somehow find you. You know what I mean? But the cool thing about that was, like, so Mara Jade was Palpatine's, like, right-hand assassin, and she had it embedded in her head, like, ingrained, that she had to kill Luke Skywalker, right? And that was her whole mission. It was all, like, forced into her brain that she had to kill Luke Skywalker. And at the end of that, she killed the clone, which deprogrammed her brain, because her and Luke were actually getting on before she even knew who Luke was. So
I was going to say, because they
got married, yeah. They had kids. One kid. Yeah. Ben. So by killing his clone, it deprogrammed her from what the Emperor had programmed her to do.
Yeah, because she completed the mission that she needed to do. Okay.
Exactly. That would have made the best sequel trilogy. Like, I love the sequel trilogy that we have now, but that one would have been mad, because that's where Thrawn really comes into it. That's where Thrawn began. Before that, there was no Thrawn.
This is why I'm really excited for the Ahsoka series, because I want the live action Thrawn so badly. And I know everyone's going to shit on probably how he looks like how they did with the Grand Inquisitor. They're just like, the Grand Inquisitor looks so much cooler in Rebels. What the fuck? And then we have Rupert, who is still an amazing actor, so everyone can go fuck off. And I was like, he looks so bad. I'm like, number one, you're translating from, like, animation to live action.
Also, a very stylized animation as well. Rebels is super stylized.
Super stylized animation. And so it's not like how, like, Clone Wars they were all based on live action characters. Now you're reversing it. It's very fucking hard.
Yeah.
Oh, Thrawn's an asshole, but he's like the asshole and badass. You're just like, I need to know more about you. It's the same reason why I was so after her book came out, Captain Phasma's book, I had a new love for Phasma, and I was really gutted when she was off the way she was. So I'm just like, I just really. But at the end of the day, it's Star Wars. You just have to let it happen. You have to. Yep. It's Star Wars. We could have absolutely nothing. So I'm great. I'm grateful. Daddy Filoni, and Daddy Favreau keep going for what that you're doing.
Yeah, they're allowed the Bad Batch because of everything else.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you that because that Mandalorian season 3 trailer was hype. So you go ahead. So good.
And you know, someone had pointed this out to me. I think this would be what the fourth time we're going to be seeing Execute Order 66 all fucking over again. And I'm just like,
yep, they're never going to let that go.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
So there's been I'm totally going off Bad Batch because you know what? There's nothing left to say about it. It was dollar.
That episode was like we basically ended like at 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, it was nonsense. Someone said something. I can't remember who it was. It could have been Sam actually from work. So where does do you know where the Darksaber comes from? Obviously. So it comes from the original Tar Vizsla, the first ever Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah, and it was the whole thing is like the whole shtick is it is like in order to wield the Darksaber, you have to beat the guy and like beat the wielder in battle, and then you are now whoever wields the Darksaber is in control of basically what was it, Mandalore? He's basically in control of.
Yeah, the leader and ruler.
You're the leader of Mandalore, and so like there's a lot of history with that Darksaber.
Right. Who is currently very, very close to the Darksaber and happens to also be somewhat of a Jedi?
Are we talking about now?
Grogu's gonna rule Mandalore. That's where he's going. That's where he's going.
Guy that eats not like little creature that eats boba balls, like frog balls.
He's gonna grow up. It's gonna Mandalorian season 4 gonna jump to the future, right? And it's gonna be Grogu, like full on helmet, ears sticking out, Darksaber. Once again, Jedi Mandalorian with the Darksaber, ruler of Mandalore.
You know what? Mandalore probably needs somebody like Grogu.
They need something. It's a trash heap.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing there.
Do you think Omega could somehow transform into a different character, like a female assassin?
I can see her. I can see her turning dark. I can. She's a character that she is programmed to be good. She thinks she has to be good, but I feel if something, it's the same thing you see in every Star Wars character, like Ben Solo. I'm not going to say Ben Kenobi. Ben Solo, had every single potential to be a great Jedi Master. He was just treated like absolute garbage by the people he wanted to love him very much. And because he finally had his last straw with his Uncle Luke, wanted to kill him because he saw all this darkness in him. He's like, that's it. I'm going off the bender. I could see something similar happening with Omega. She could fight for the good, but something's could happen to her that could shatter all that. She could be like, I can't do this. Like, nope. Turns to the dark side and just flips the switch.
Yep. I could see that happening. Grogu from Mandalore.
That's even absurd at this point.
Right. Can he even hold the Darksaber? I mean, not in his tiny little claws currently, but he's going to get. I was going to say he's going to get bigger, but he's already 50.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, he's already in another 50 years when we're all.
Yeah. He could use the Force. He could wield it with the Force. No one's ever done that. No one's ever. Darth Traya did. You don't know who that is yet. But she had 3 lightsabers that she wielded around her with the Force, which is pretty sick.
Is this? Hold on, because I went to this fan expo recently in Atlanta. Very shitty fan expo, I should say. It was really bad. They claimed that it was the largest fan expo in Atlanta, where they had all these figurines and props and shit. I gotta show you something. This is so fucking bad. I'm just gonna try. Hopefully it translates. But what do you see wrong with Lord Vader?
What is going on?
Look at his neck.
Like, what is that about?
It's like the whole neck is shifted to one side and his butt's on the other. There was that, and then you had oh my god, it looked like 3PO was going through some shit. Oh no, the worst. Oh yeah. Oh, they did it so bad. This was the Emperor. He had no eyes. If he had eyeballs, they were already like up there. It was so bad. Oh, and then they did this to Kylo Ren. Like, what the fuck?
Wow. Wow.
So you're telling me the Darth person you were mentioning it's not this girl?
No.
Okay.
Darth Trey. She's from Knights of the Old Republic too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get there. Don't worry, you'll get there.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I think that's probably everything we've got to say about.
And we've given you guys an hour.
How? Because we talked about everything else.
We talked about everything else.
Yeah. So join us next week over on Nat's channel. Be sure to obviously be subscribing to The Real Jedi Princess, where we'll be talking about episode 5 that could go either way at this point.
I'll be back in Atlanta. I'll be back in my setup. I do have to start getting ready for this show soon.
Yes.
And mentally prepared to meet
Big Sammy.
The one, the only Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson.
That's so exciting. Next week, I won't actually be in my normal setup. I will be elsewhere. So that'll be interesting. See if that internet can handle me. But that's it for this live. Thank you for joining us. It's very fun. Always lovely sitting here chatting with my bestie. So until next week, I guess that's it for Rebel Base Radio. Tune in, same Rebel time, same Rebel channel, I guess.
Yeah, see you next week.
We still don't have an ending, do we? Or an opening?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, and may the force be with you too.
And also with you.
There we go.